If someone chose that a God did not exist, would they be would that be accurate?
No, because I feel like it's all about what you believe. So it's like just how there's people that you get to choose what you
Yeah.
believe,
So between someone choosing a God didn't exist and
and
someone
choose they
choosing,
will both be right
how can that be true?
because it's about what you believe.
Yeah, so what I do here is I like to chat with people about really anything. I ask them what do they believe and why,
Okay,
and I'm more interested in why rather than what. So it could
okay.
be about really anything, but anything come to mind we could talk about?
I mean, just based off of my shirt, I would say God is love.
God is love.
I feel like it's a confusing topic at times
It is, yeah.
because
So, yeah.
a lot of people don't really understand what love is, and there's multiple meanings for love. There's different names for the different types. There's agape, there's a philia. It's I don't know like in full detail with what each one of them is, but I know for sure agape love is like love from God. So
Okay.
it's like which can get confusing because God is love. So it's like wait,
Yeah.
you know, I
Yeah.
believe that it's interchangeable as far
So,
as like God, in a sense, is this entity, this being that governs everything. So I think of love in the same way. So if you're not acting according to love, then there's consequences for it. So you have so many different religions and beliefs, which at the bottom line, I feel like whatever you believe is true, which is kind of interesting as well.
all right.
So, like there's people that believe in ghosts. So if you believe in ghosts, then you'll see ghosts. Like you'll
Yeah.
see certain things.
Can someone's mere belief in anything make that thing true?
I think so. It's just a certain level of belief. I think.
Could
So,
someone's mere belief that there are no Tic Tacs in this box make it true?
uh, I mean, it can be true if
What do you mean by true then?
if somehow they were able to get the Tic Tacs out of the box.
Yeah, if we just sat this here and just believed there were no Tic Tacs, how long would it take for there to be no Tic
See,
Tacs?
yeah, that's the thing. It takes different amounts of time for things to manifest. So, people that they believe they can go to the NBA or they believe they could, make it in music like me. Like I make music.
Okay.
So I believe that I'll make it, and making it is like relative depending on whatever
Yeah.
you're thinking about. Because, throughout my journey, I've learned that accolades kind of
Yeah.
doesn't mean as much as you thought before.
Yeah, it seems like there's a difference between believing in yourself or believing something might happen or could happen
Right.
and believing that it actually will 100% will happen no matter what.
Right. It's a certain confidence level.
Yeah.
So
Does our
yeah.
confidence in anything relate to the actual case?
Um, I think it does because you start to carry yourself different, and what you're reflecting, what do you feel on the inside, is what you're reflecting out into the world.
If someone was super confident they could fly, could I do that?
I think so. Like I don't know if you ever heard of Christ consciousness. So it's like some spiritual things. Like there's spiritual things on YouTube where you can kind of dabble into different beliefs of what might happen in the future. But uh, and it has to do with like the age of the earth and everything like that. But
Okay.
there's this thing called Christ consciousness. So you know how we're in the age of information. So like they prophesize about this stuff like in each different religion for the most part, especially astrology. Like they have certain things that's going on in the solar system that connects to like what we are on Earth.
Okay, I'm confused. If someone went up to the balcony
Not right now.
and jumped
No.
off and believed they could fly, could they do that?
I mean, they would have to get some help from like some type of exterior thing, but not in this present moment.
Okay.
No, that's not about to happen.
So if someone just believed really hard that there was a God, would that make it true?
I think so. I think so.
Why?
Because it's what it's like your beliefs govern your life. So it's like when it comes to rules. So if somebody tells you, hey, you can't go there for this reason, like you can't cross that line, so you believe you can't cross that line, so you're not going to cross that line. But if you don't have that belief in your mind, nobody ever told you anything about that, then you'll cross that line no problem. So
Yeah. Is there a limit to this? Like, people can fly just because they believe they can fly, right?
yeah, I mean, see that particular thing,
And the Tic Tacs.
yeah, and the Tic Tacs, like instantly, no. But I think like if you give it time to manifest, then yes. And then the flying thing, like that's difficult for me right now. But as far as Christ consciousness is concerned, in the future they said there will be people flying around based off of thoughts. Like
Wait,
how
what? What says that?
it's in astrology. It's like spiritual. It's more spiritual. It's not religious. So you
Is
ever
it
heard
true?
of? I believe it will be because of
Why?
because they prophesized about technology.
Is that a good
as
reason to
well.
believe that?
It coincides with so many different similar stories. So there's Jesus, then you have like Buddhism. All of these things different. All these different religions align and tell the same story. So like if you look at the hieroglyphics, they have like different deities. Like
Okay. So let's just go back to this basic: God exists, it's real. Could I get a sense of your confidence from saying a scale from 0 to 100? Where 100 is absolute confidence, could not be mistaken about it?
100%. There is a higher being. Now, what the actual name for it is, I mean, I don't get into that.
Whatever it is, like what is it?
Yeah, I call it God, and I refer to God as love. So whatever you believe the higher power is, I think it's
What
love.
do you believe it is? It's a
Love.
higher power?
Yeah, well, I call him God. I refer to him as God because that's what I've known since a baby growing up. But if you speak a different language,
Okay.
that's why I'm not like super like religious, but
And you could not be mistaken about it being real?
yeah, no, definitely. I know for sure. Yeah, that's
For
real.
sure. And you're 100%. And what gives you such high confidence that it's real?
Through experiences, life experiences. It's like a divine intervention is what they call it. It's like certain things happen to you, and you be like, man, like I know that didn't happen like just because of me.
All right, so you've went through personal experiences and you have attributed the cause of those experiences to this God?
Yes.
How did you determine that's the case?
Well, of course, I grew up in the church, so there's the Bible. But then again, even if you look at it from a astrology standpoint, that's cause and effect. So to make sure these things play out, I feel like there's someone watching over everything.
So astrology relates to the God, like the God is controlling the astrology stuff?
I think so, yeah.
Wait.
God is everything. So I think like in the beginning, it's like oneness. So everything makes up God, which is,
Okay.
it gets kind of confusing because I don't know how to like break it down to like the certain level, but I think that's only like a place for God to do. You get what I'm saying? Like, I can't break it down to the point to where you will understand that only God can do that. So it's like when we pass away, when we move on to the next life, because you never really die, you just die in this separation of energy from the body. So you live on, you just don't have this body anymore.
So you've had some personal experiences, and you've attributed these experiences to the God causing them, either through astrology stuff or just God doing it.
Yeah, just like cause and effect.
And how did you tell it was through the God doing it?
It is like I think you get a feeling of like thankfulness or appreciation. That's how it is for me. But
you get a feeling.
Yeah, it's a certain feeling where you can't deny it.
And is having feelings about stuff a guarantee that is true?
I think so, because life is a feeling process. So everything is like your thoughts and feelings.
Yeah.
Like,
could you have a feeling about whether this is even or odd?
Ooh, yes, you can, and that can't be wrong.
Yeah. Is that a reliable way to tell?
Well, see, then it's like you would have to translate that feeling to thought. So it's like,
Yeah.
I don't know how to put it. It's like, I don't know.
Is feelings a good way to tell if this is even or odd?
I think when it just comes to you instead of like you having to force it, then it's a bit more true. It's more divine, more like fluent. So it's like if I would have just been like, looking at him and like, man, something came to me and I wanted to just like, take a shot at it, then I think I have a better chance at guessing it versus me being like, let me see what I think I feel it is.
Yeah, so I've got a coin. If I flip it, could you use feelings to tell if that's even heads or tails?
Nah, I mean, not unless,
Yeah. If I did this 100 times in a row, could you use feelings to tell if it's heads or tails more than 50 times?
So I think maybe because of certain things that you understand already,
Yeah.
you don't apply feelings to those. So like if you understand chance,
Yeah.
then you can kind of get that right based on percentages.
Yeah, chance is like 50 out of 100.
Right. So I'm not saying. So that's like going to the casino and saying like, man, I got a feeling I'm gonna, hit the jackpot today.
Yeah.
Nah, you can't really go off feeling like that. But as far as things outside of your control,
Is feeling a good way to tell for this and for gambling? No.
Nah, I mean I've been in situations. Yeah, that actually is a good way to tell. But at the end of the day, you gambling, so
Yeah.
it's not really.
If it's not the best way for these types of things, why is it a good way for that? For God?
I think it's more so about, it goes back to the love factor. So it's like, if you feel and truly believe that what you're doing is out of love and is benefiting the rest of humanity, then that's when it really applies. It's like,
How does that relate to a God actually being real?
I think it's more so, we have free will, as according to God, so we can choose to do good or bad. Now, knowing what's good or bad, I think that has a feeling to it too. If you go and like hit somebody, then you feel a certain type of way about it.
How does that relate to a God being real?
It's like God is inside of all of us. So the fact that we're breathing, we breathe life. I'm able to sit here and do this.
How does us breathing relate to God existing?
God is oneness. So the fact that every living organism, every being living can breathe, that brings us together to the God. It's like,
how does that relate to God existing? All of us breathing.
Right. So it's like we all have one thing in common. We all have a soul. That's what makes us alive. So
do we?
So yeah, you got to be moving and breathing. Like, to be alive is to be connected to God.
Just because we're alive, does that mean a God exists?
I think it kind of goes back to what you believe. Like, I believe a God exists, but for you, that might not be true. So,
is there any way to tell one way or the other?
To be honest, I mean, it's like when you get down to the basis, it's like you have a choice to believe or not. So for me, I'd rather not, take the gamble.
Yeah.
I grew up in the church, so I look at the world with open mind.
Yeah.
So I grew up in the church, like my parents put me in the church, since a baby. But I don't, like, I can still, like, view things from someone that might not believe in God. I can still view things from, like, the way they might look at it.
If someone chose that a God did not exist, would they be accurate?
No, because I feel like it's all about what you believe. So it's like just how there's people that you get to choose what you believe.
So between someone choosing a God didn't exist and someone choosing...
They will both be right.
How can that be true?
Because it's about what you believe. So
does our mere beliefs make things change in reality?
Yeah, definitely. I stand behind that one.
Can we make these change based on our beliefs?
We can. But with belief, you have to take action. So
mere belief.
Well, no, belief in action. So you can't. It's not enough to say you believe in God.
Can we
and
do
not
anything
act
to make a
upon
God exist?
Well, yeah, you can. You do that by living according to, what you believe would be pleasing to God.
How does that relate to it actually being true?
It goes back to the belief factor. So it's like, if you believe it to be true, and you act upon it, then you're acting as if it's true, and it's like your energy.
Is it possible for someone to believe something is true and act upon as if it's true and it actually not be true?
It depends. You gotta ask that person that's doing it, because something can be true for you, and I could be looking at you and thinking what I think, but it not be true to me.
Does that apply to like even and odd of this tech tax? Could it be odd for me and even for you?
I think so. See, that goes back to like a belief too, because we learned odd and even, like in school.
Yeah.
So coming up, we was taught that 1, 3, 5 is odd.
We can take it off math and just say Tic Tacs in the box or no Tic Tacs in the box. Could we both be correct?
Yeah, because then it will go back to the beliefs too, because somebody told us that the name of that was Tic Tacs. So if it's
whatever
in the box,
these orange things are, they're in the box or they're not. If I said there's no whatever these are in here, would I be accurate? And you said there are, would we just be as equally accurate?
Man, see, I hate to do it, but yeah, belief, yeah, like we both can be right about it.
I would be just as accurate as you saying there's orange things in here if I said there's nothing in here.
Yeah, so I don't know, man, like for your argument purposes, like no. As far as like what we understand already, no. But as far as beliefs are concerned, I can believe that it's there or not.
Do you care if your beliefs are accurate?
Definitely. I feel like we all do.
Yeah. Like accurate in terms of like seeing stuff and being able to test stuff. Is there a way to test this belief?
Yeah, there is a way to test it.
How?
We can take it out and spread it out and look at it right here.
Yeah, that seems testable.
Right,
we can tell if it's even or odd that way. Is there any way to test a God belief like that?
No. Nah. Nope.
Okay. If
So,
that's the case, is 100% the most accurate spot to be?
Like I say, to me, but I guess as far as scientific terms, I would say no, but just me personally, I say yes. So like, but it's weird. It's weird because I don't know. This is like a interesting topic in general, because even with science, like there's what is it called? Quantum physics, where they like prove that your thoughts make things happen.
Do they do that?
Yeah, I mean it's a lot more complicated, but yeah, they use math to and then they use tests, like they test it. They would hook things up to your mind. They would let you go to sleep, and that's how they know. Okay, he's dreaming, like because they can monitor brain activity. So
I wonder.
Yeah.
Okay, well, Smitty, I think I understand where you're coming from. Still, you feel 100% confidence, could not be mistaken about this whatsoever, is the most accurate spot to be?
Yes, for me though, for me.
Gotcha. All right, well, thank you for the conversation. Really good.
Nah, it's been pretty cool, man. You like open my mind up some more.
Okay, that's what I'm all about.
Yeah.
Thanks, Smitty. Nice meeting you.
All right, so what's your stuff, man?
It's right here.
I gotta give you my YouTube channel.
Sure. What is it?
Smitty Spread Love. So